Wait, hi, it's the Bella Javera Foundation, and I wanted to making a little bit of a series here. Um, so I said this in the other video I just made. Watch that one first, red flags, then watch this one because it kind of ties in, a little bit better to watch that one first. So what I wanted to talk about is being a martyr and belonging with people. So like I said, really watch that red flags video first. I'll just get to one point here about what I said in that video. It's several minutes long, many minutes, but one of the basic points is I said, and you have to watch the whole thing to get why I'm saying this. There's no such thing as red flags. Unless you're not spiritually awake. But they're not real red flags. And I kind of didn't really mention in that one so much I meant to. Whenever you're thinking there's red flags about the other person, it's about you. You need to work on you, not them. And the other way around, too. Them, they need to work on themselves, not you. You're supposed to be in each other's lives and relate to each other, but you don't heal other people. You only heal yourself. And you can be a friend and hold someone's hand while they're healing themselves or give them the tools to heal themselves, but you don't heal them for themselves. They do that, and you do that for you. So, like I said, there's no such thing as red flags. And what I meant to say is that, like, when you think someone's controlling, it's your decision. No one can make you anything unless they're tying you down and you literally don't have the strength to move. That's a different subject. Otherwise, it is, and I'm sorry, but that's the law of attraction too, in case you didn't know. Everything that you do is. And I get sick when people say, no, don't say that to people, because I, from my foundation and my life and my career, like, as consultant, that's not my foundation, but anyway, and astrology in that, I'm a boot camp kind of a person. I'll give you love, but in a boot camp kind of way. I'm not going to kiss your butt and say, no, I'm not going to say things that you don't want to hear, because I do. I definitely do. All the time. And it pisses people off. I don't mind. That's, part of being a person. But anyway. So, like I was saying, if you are being controlled and you're sick of it, it's because you're letting them. You're deciding to be controlled. That's you doing that, not them. Me and they're being controlling or whatever else, or trying to save you and not let you be your whole self. That's you controlling you. That's you letting them, or you deciding how you're going to be, how you relate to them. They're doing their own thing and you're doing your own thing. You don't blame them for what you're doing. They shouldn't blame you for what they're doing. It's kind of sticky subject, but I'm sure you can understand it because it's really not that difficult to understand. You decide what you do, they decide what they do. And I guarantee you, if they're being that so controlling to you, you're controlling too. You do it to them too, in maybe a different kind of a way somehow, or I guarantee you are controlling too. I get so sick of people acting like they're not the same relating to somehow or another. Because for one thing, law of attraction says you attract like to you. Like attracts like. You can't attract a person to you that you have nothing in common with. And we like to say we're mirrors for each other. Now, on the subject of my own crap, your own crap, projecting mirrors, all that stuff, helping someone get to the root of their crap, or it being your actual crap. That's a whole subject that is sticky and I'm not going to talk about here, but I just wanted to acknowledge that that is something that is confusing and needs to be worked on to practice getting better at knowing what's what. But anyway, so about like that was kind of like off for the other video, red flags video. But like I said, there's no such thing as red flags. There just isn't. And I didn't mention in the other video too, I meant to. Once you say there's red flags, that takes away the responsibility of needing people in your life. And I get so sick and tired of hearing that. I could spit nails. Law of attraction and chakras and energy and all that stuff, and healing and raising your vibration and all that, it doesn't happen by cutting off that person, that person, that person, and not having anybody left in your life. That's not raising your chakras. That makes you feel lonely and it lowers them. One or another, or several, I don't know what all, but anyway. Thoughts are how you raise your vibration and your chakras. Starts with thoughts. And just noticing who you are, what's around you, how you're reacting to life. That's it. Thoughts. That's what it starts with. Not saying, oh, you have things to heal by. That's not how it works, because we both do. That's really an excuse. It's a really pathetic excuse, and I get so sick of it. Like I said, I could spit nails. So the red flags thing, I'm not saying you can't ever use that phrase, but you need to be extremely, extremely careful how many times you use it and when and why. Because, like I said, in general, I don't think there's a such thing as a red flag. The red flag, like I meant to say in the other video, whenever you think there's a red flag, you need to be paying attention to what you're doing, not what the other person is doing. That's the red flag about you. And everyone always loves to blame it on the other person and say, oh, you're not good to be around. And then they completely miss the opportunity of getting to know themselves and healing something about themselves, or just noticing it at least and seeing how they're reacting to life, responding to life. Don't take, which isn't true, because if you think about it, no one should be around anyone then. And I'm not going to go into more detail about that here in this video, but I could, obviously, but I have in my other videos. So anyway, the point of this video, though, is belonging and are you a martyr? So, in two people relating to each other, any two people, a lot of times I could name so many two peoples that there's always the stronger one and the save me one, or the savior one and the, save me one, or the controlling one and the save me one, or the whatever, all kinds of things you want to call it. That's kind of a little bit of different, things I said, but it's in many of two people relating to each other. So that is one thing. Sometimes it's not that way, but a lot of times it is. You say save me, or I'll save you, or I'm not going to save you, but I'm a friend to you. To someone that says save me, which isn't saving them, it's unconditional love. That's when you don't try to save the person, when you let them be all of themselves in front of you and you let them heal themselves. People love to screw that over and say around, it's like unconditional love is when you're saving someone. It's not. But there's so many two people that have this save me, I'll save you, or save me, no, I'll be a friend to you and let you save yourself or heal yourself, rather. Kind of relating. But the thing is, the breath probably mostly equally hurt somehow or another. It's just that it's a little bit different somehow, but it's mostly generally the same somehow, because you don't attract people that are so different from you. It's like law of attraction says like attract likes, and you can't attract someone that is so different from you that you have nothing in common. You know, especially about the mirrors thing. You're so much mirrors for each other. You and the other person. So many of two people. You and so many people that you're each one person that you're around. And people love to screw over all these subjects and talk about all these details in this video and the other one too, and say it's this and that and the other thing and not what it really is, and say, you shouldn't be around that person because you're giving them unconditional love because they want to call it saving people, or don't want to call it what it is, because like I said, unconditional love is not saving people. It's letting people be their whole self in front of you and not trying to save them. So anyway, but about being the martyr, though, about this, I'm hurt, you're hurt subject, and save me or don't save me, or, whatever. A lot of times, there's always this, not always, a lot of times there's this part of save me, go away, or just astrology, synastry, and composite charts happening. If you don't know what that is, watch my YouTube videos or other ones on YouTube from astrologers. Stuff gets mixed in with this saving stuff and unhealed stuff about each person. And people like to say, save me, go away. And, then we get into the martyr stuff. The person usually that's saying, save me, go away, is the martyr. They're like, no, you shouldn't be around me because I'm too hurt and mean to be around. That's being a martyr. And I want to make one thing out of several things clear in this video. It pisses me off. If you want to piss me off, say that to me. Out of several things, many things, but anyway. It makes my blood boil when people say that do the martyr thing. Say, no, you shouldn't be in my life because of this, that, and the other thing, and whatever else there is to say about it. And I just saw a movie an hour or so ago that had this topic in it. No, don't be around me. Go be with someone else because whatever. There's different situations where people are saying this. So many different situations. And in different ways. Different personalities. Different healed and unhealed things about a person. There's so many different ways to say it. And so many details. It's not like one way to say it from each person. It's all the same. Because it's really not. But I saw it in the movie. I watched it on a TV show just recently. Real live people, being people, not just some acting made up story. But I see it on social media all the time. And the subject gets so screwed over to hell and back. It's like just a big circus. It's really ridiculous. And that's why I'm making these videos, to straighten out these subjects, because, and there's plenty of people that do on YouTube, but anyway, it needs to be done very much because people need people in their lives. We all need people in our lives. That's the only way to get to know yourself and to not go insane, for one thing. So, for one thing, another thing, basically, what I've already kind of basically said, it's not right to be a martyr. I'm not saying you shouldn't be a person and do what you're doing. I don't tell people not to do what they're doing. That's not what I mean. I'm just saying it's an excuse. It's a cop out. It's, all those kinds of things. It's not cool to be a martyr for you and the other person you're relating to in any kind of way that you are. Say, no, you shouldn't be in my life because the other person, they want you in their life or not. You decide whether you want to be in their life or not. You do not decide that for them. They decide that. See what I'm saying? That's what being a martyr is about, the subject of I'm too mean to be around, or I'm, there's so many things, not just about being mean, but I mean, like, I don't know if I'm ready for to get married, tomorrow, and we just started dating, and it's kind of like a kind of putting words into your mouth kind of thing happening when so many people don't even say that. Like, they say, I want to get to know you. And they're like, no, I'm not ready for a big commitment and getting married. And that's not what people even say. If you actually would just shut your damn mouth and listen to what actual words come out of people's mouths, you could hear, so especially me, an Aquarius, we're not into jumping into getting married right away. So many Aquariuses get married when they're 35 or something. Seriously. Or never get married or whatever. Some do get married when they're 20, but there's so many things about being a person that makes you do that. So anyway, my zodiac sign especially is one to not jump into, let's say, we're getting married next week when we just got engaged today, or we're just dating right now today, whatever, just our date or whatever. Or there's other situation where you can say, no, don't be around me or whatever. So many situations, all different. It's not, I'm not saying it's all the same, or there's someone says, oh no, I'm too mean. It's not at all the same. There's so many different situations where you can say, no, don't be around me. And it's being a martyr, and it's an excuse, and it pisses me off. It's just an excuse. It's a way to not deal with relating to people for real. And it pisses me off. And it should piss everyone off because, or if you I understand you, but let's talk about it and whatever, and let's not be pissed off, but just let's communicate about it and work through it, whatever. But it pisses me off though. It's an excuse, and I'm not saying you can't ever legitimately be scared or confused or whatever else there is about being a person and say that. I'm not saying that that's wrong or bad or an excuse, because it's not. It's a legitimate thing, but an excuse is not legitimate. Taking the easy way out and saying no, don't be around me is an excuse. And it's not legitimate. It's not okay to do that. That's being a martyr, and it's not okay. You need to have people in your life, or a person, whoever that is. I'm not saying that you need everyone on this planet in your life, or that there aren't times where someone in your life maybe, but if you were relating with each other on any kind of ongoing kind of anything, it's both of your decisions. You don't decide for the other person, no matter what the reason is you're saying that about. So I just really wish people would stop being martyrs and just let people in their life more, and just, it makes my blood boil when people do the martyr thing. And really, there's nothing else to it. It's this reason, that reason, and then they say, no, you shouldn't be around me or whatever. It's others too. But it's an excuse, like I said. So, about the belonging thing, though, people think they belong with this group or the other one or that person or that person or that person. And they, you know, there's always the subject of the martyr save me, I'm hurt, that person's not as hurt, all that kind of stuff about who you belong with. And that pisses me off too because it's an excuse too. People need to actually just really understand each other and understand what it is to be a person and all these kinds of roots of things that I talk about on my YouTube channel for my work and my foundation, and psychology and astrology and whatever else there is, you know, and get to the roots of things and understand people, where things are coming from, and all sorts of things. I made another video or two, or I don't know how many now, about belonging. So watch those two. The false healing method. Shoving people out of your life and saying, don't be around me. That's basically what that title's about, but I don't know what all I put in the video now. So you'll have to watch that because I said that's an excuse. Whenever you say you don't belong with that person or that person or that group or that group, it's an excuse because we all do belong with each other. We're all one thing. We're all a person. We all do belong with each other. I said that in that video. There's some other people on YouTube that make these kinds of videos and say another thing, that you actually never belonged with whoever made you feel not belong with them, and it's not true. They're dealing with their own hurts. That's why they're acting like you don't belong with them. And it's more complex than that. Maybe your synastry or composite chart isn't good for belonging with each other, maybe. But as a group, if there's a whole big group of people that you belong to or don't belong to or want to or used to or whatever, or you're now fighting with, or whatever the subject is about, every single person in the group, and you can't have bad synergy so much or a composite chart that you can't belong with each other. So the reason for saying that you don't belong with me or anyone is because they're dealing with their own stuff somewhat, besides the synastry and composite chart aspects, what you should know about. But anyway, besides that though, in general, a good way to look at it, first of all, is that they're dealing with their own individual stuff, unhealed stuff that maybe they don't want to deal with, and coming up with excuses and not wanting to, you know, relate to people. There's so much stuff going on about a person that makes people mean to each other. Sometimes when you say, no, you don't belong with anyone, or go away, or, whatever, those kinds of things. And it's really kind of them talking about themselves, first of all. I'm not saying you can't say something about someone else and be right or reasonable or logical or getting to the root of things, because you can. You both can do that to each other. But in general, when someone's being an asshole to you and say you don't belong with anyone, they're doing that because of their own unhealed stuff that needs, worked on. Not because of your life. So to say, okay, no, I don't belong with anyone, or I don't belong with tons of groups on this planet, that's an excuse. It's like, it's doing the whole martyr kind of save me or I'll save you, or codependent crap that isn't healthy. Everything about two people relating to each other isn't codependent, and there's a lot of times where it can be a lot of relating and not codependent. So don't get me wrong about that. It's not that I'm saying everything is codependent. It's just one of those kind of words that can be about a person sometimes. So anyway, watch all of my videos on belonging because it's so important to know that we all actually do belong with each other. And it's not that it's ever going to happen like we're all going to be one group on this planet, but we do belong with each other. We're all one thing, we're all a person. And like I said in my other video, or this one, I think in the other one, red flags, there's no such thing as one person on this planet being different from the rest of the people on this planet. We all have stuff in common. We're all the same thing, you know. So we all belong with each other. We're all supposed to love each other and be there for each other, be a friend, to give each other what we need to be people and to heal and to survive and whatever, all those kinds of things. Anyone that's doing the martyr crap needs to get over it and acknowledge that they need people in their lives. We all need friends, and we all need to stop coming up with tons of excuses about how we relate to each other, and what we let get in the way of relating to each other, because for real, we all do belong with each other. And that is, if you're healing yourself and wanting to relate to people properly, you can belong with each other more that way, is what I'm saying. If you don't, you can belong with each other anyway, but maybe you need more time away from someone or another sometimes. Maybe not. Depends. But the more you heal, the more you can belong with people. That's the way it works, because of the fact that we all need responsibilities to each other. It's not because of that I'm trying to take back what I'm saying in this video at all, because I'm not. Because I don't agree with it to say it any other way. Because I do strongly believe we all do belong with each other. So don't think I'm saying anything different ever, because I'm not. It's just that the more you do want to heal, I'm not saying that people shouldn't have people in their life. I'm just saying, I was thinking about synergy and composite chart aspects that are difficult. The more you know how to heal yourself, the more you can handle difficult aspects. It's not that hurt people shouldn't have people in their lives, because every person on this planet can be hurt in some way or another. Because no one's different. And I get sick of people saying that anyone is. Healers or the people that need healed. The only way you can be a healer is if you need healed. Honestly. It's just not possible any other way. Really. So, people need to stop saying we're all different, because no one's different. So anyway, if you want to get over your, either jealous or insecure or just whatever kind of asshole attitude you have, then you can really let people belong with people, an excuse, like I said. In general, it's not that there aren't more details to life than that, and to people and centering composite charts and natal charts. It's just that in general, we all do belong with each other. So, like I was saying, the more you heal yourself, the more you can handle the difficult aspects. That's going to make you feel like you can belong with each other more. But besides that, we all do belong with each other. So the martyr crap is boring. It's just absolutely boring to tears, and it pisses me off. And I honestly love being dramatic about it. Lots of things like that. Whenever you're saying, no, you shouldn't be around me, or the people saying, I'm a victim of that person, or they're abusive, or someone being abusive, it's all boring. It's like, get over yourself and be a person. Figure out how to relate to people, especially different things like that, but especially when it's like the martyr kind of thing happening, or I'm being abused. It's like, I could just really get into a blunt rant about this, but I'll try not to too much. But I just really feel like saying, grow a fucking backbone and figure out how to be a person and quit saying you're a victim to people because you're doing that to yourself. So anyway, the martyr crab is boring. Really, it is. Truly. And we all do belong with each other. So anyway. But like I said, watch the red flags video first. Because it just makes a little bit more sense to watch that first before you watch this one. So anyway. Yeah, but if you want to leave questions or comments or whatever, suggestions on what I should talk about next or whatever, feel free. And thanks for watching.